Hi there, it's Dave here from Little Acorns Forest Schools Limited. The loppers are one of the first tools which you can use. As we've gone before, we've used the mallet to start off with, now going to go onto the loppers. The reason we're going to the loppers then is because we're this far away from the cut. Okay, so tool talk for a pair of loppers. These are loppers. That is the handle, that is the blade, and that is the cutting edge. I hold the loppers like this. I walk with the loppers like this, and I hand the loppers over like this. I use the loppers for cutting anything which is smaller than a 2p piece or a €2 coin, depending on where you're working. I use the loppers 2 arms and a tool length away from anybody else, unless I'm working with a partner. When I'm not using the loppers, I place them down on the ground so that the handles face forward and the blade points to the rear. And when I finish using the loppers, I place them back into the toolbox or designated tool area. Loppers then, really good piece of equipment. I always buy from, if I can, from Barco, and these Barco Pradines are, in my opinion, some of the best loppers that you can get. They're not cheap, but like I've said before in one of the previous videos, buy it once and cry once. Okay, so once you've got them, you've got them. I've had loppers now for years. Okay, and I find that they are really efficient. They're good at what they do. Okay, so we've come to our little hazel stall here. Okay, and we're going to do a little bit of coppicing. Coppicing is all part of our woodland management bit, and as we're going to find out now, we're going to cut the hazel back nice and tight so that it stimulates the growth. Okay, the more that we do this on the hazel, okay, the better the hazel is going to grow. Okay, and it's going to be more healthy. All right, we're going to see already that we've got the dead stuff here. The dead stuff will come off fairly easily. All right, but we're going to cut back on this rod here. Okay, the way that we're going to do it, get ourselves onto one knee. All right, and we get ourselves all the way. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll cut this one here. All right, so when I use the loppers, I liken the loppers to having like a child's mouth. All right, and what I'm thinking about here is when you feed the child, you don't feed the food onto the teeth, you feed the food into the mouth. So which means that what that means to us is when we're cutting with the loppers, we open the loppers up wide, we place the loppers onto what we're going to cut, and then we bring our hands together like so, and that cuts off the limb. One other thing you can say with the children, and something which I like to put in, and it makes it kind of a game and makes it quite funny, is when they cut, they have to say strong like bull. If they don't say that, then they're probably fine. They won't be able to cut it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do it again then, all the way in like that. Okay, bring the arms together and say strong like bull. And as you do that, you can cut through. As you see from here, as I put the loppers down, okay, you can see where I've got a nice clean cut through on the hazel. Okay, I've cut it so that it's on an angle so the water will touch it and then fall off. Okay, this is important so that we don't damage the hazel itself. Okay, you'll see there's evidence here where we've cut this one back before. Okay, I'm going to cut that one back a little bit neater so that the rain hits it and falls off. Okay, all the way in like that, and I cut it on an angle like that. Okay, that's going to be better. It's going to hit the top of the hazel there and then fall off. Now what should happen, so I'm just looking on the side of this one over here. Okay, we've cut this one back. As we can see from this one here, look, we've cut this one back prior, last year. Okay, we've cut that one back. It's nice at an angle, and we've got this fine rod which has grown up here, the sky rod. Okay, this will be really useful for us probably next year now, and we can use this for fencing or hedging. Okay, we've also got other bits which have started growing up from the base here, and we've got another bit which has grown up from here as well. So actually, where we've cut off one rod, all right, we've now got 2 or 3 more which have grown up for it. So it's more efficient. There we go. And actually, we don't damage the hazel by doing this. This makes sure that the hazel grows for a little bit longer and is alive for longer. So we're doing it a favour, really. What we're going to move on to now is tool maintenance for the loppers. The first thing we need to do with the loppers once we finish using them is to make sure there's no plant bits and pieces onto the blades. We can use a little bit of wire wool here, making sure we've got a good stable position, glove on the helper hand here, and then we're just going to remove any of the plant bits like this. Okay, paying particular attention around where the rivet is in the center. Okay, and as you can see here, we've got a little bit of plant on that bit, so we're going to remove that from there. There we go, good. All right, okay, now we've done this, the way we're going to do it is we're going to sharpen. Now these loppers are what we call bypass or shear loppers, which means that the blades pass by themselves, bypass. Okay, so this is only sharpened on one side. Use a canoe stone. We call it a canoe stone because it looks like a canoe and it's made of stone. Okay, so what we're going to do now is going to sharpen the edge of the blade here. We're using this part of the, or whatever part of the canoe stone works for you. Not onto the black bit or the silver bit, onto the end here. Get yourself a good angle and push away from yourself. And this should give you a good blade. There we go. And do that as many times as you need to sharpen the blade. There is no need to sharpen the other side, because all you will do with that is you will force the blades away from each other. Okay, so please make sure that you maintain your loppers correctly. Once we've done that, then the last thing we're going to do is use a bit of WD-40 or 3-in-1 oil. Okay, give a quick squirt onto the hinge there, work the hinge a little bit, and that should be you done. If these get loose, get yourself a socket set and just use the socket onto the nut here just to tighten it up. Okay, and that's all the maintenance which you should need to do with